We are here today at Treasures of Brazil. This is a very cute boutique in the heart of Malibu, and we're gonna interview the owner. We have worked and collaborated together for the past 5 years since I'm a stylist, and we're gonna make some cool questions to her. Yay! Treasures of Brazil. Treasures of Brazil. Diane, why was your brand created?
Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? Because when you start something, you don't understand the scale, how things is gonna be like they are now. We've been for nearly 6 years on this journey, over 5 years. And when we first started, my idea is to make an extra £100 a week to help my husband with the income of the property. And you can believe it, that this in 5 years' time it would be on the high street in Malibu. So when I started, I wanted to work in sale, but not just any sale. I wanted something to bring a meaning. And because I was away from Brazil for so many years by that point, was already over 10 years, I wanted something to connect me back with Brazil. Does that answer everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think makes your brand different from other jewelry boutiques or jewelry brands out there?
So when I first started, we started with the concept of bio jewelry, which that was the first time I ever heard about it. And it was very little talk about sustainability by that point, 6 years ago. And only now that you hear a lot, everyone's talking about sustainability. But 6 years ago, that was not a thing yet. And so that's what made us different. The first, I want to work with jewelry, okay, but I don't want to work with any jewelry. Yeah. And when I heard about sustainable jewelry, bio jewelry, that was like, that's it. I didn't have any question in my mind about what jewelry. That was the jewelry I wanted to take part of. So I think that's what makes us different. Today, there's a lot of brands putting themselves as sustainable. It is also very hard to be sustainable as a brand, trying to get sustainability and be ethical in the whole chain of retail. But we do what we can as a small business, and we try to do our part.
Is that also important for you when you collaborate with other brands, that they are also very sustainable? And are they always from the same cultural background, or is it just an aesthetic of what it is, or is it a material thing? How do you define who you collaborate with? Like, what's important to keep your brand's ethos alive with your collaborators?
Yeah, we haven't done too many collaborations so far, but those ones we've done is with sustainable companies.
Yeah.
Most of the time end up with Brazilians, not because I have anything wrong about other culture.
No.
It's just because we are treasures of Brazil.
Yeah.
So it'll be a bit. I had other brands come, other designers say, "Oh, can I work with you? Oh, where is it made? Oh, it's made in Thailand." And I was like, we are treasures of Brazil. So,
but that's also important, to strengthen your brand, is to stick with, not to dilute it too much.
Yeah,
so that's really cool.
And that's one of the questions we get asked a lot actually in the shop. Is it inspired in Brazil or is made in Brazil? There's two different things these days, because there's a lot of companies that sell Brazilian things, but they're actually not made in Brazil.
Yes.
And we are inspired in Brazil and also made in Brazil. So we're trying to do the whole thing, and not just use it.
I was gonna ask you actually about the thank you.
We'll get a
about
third
the
microphone one day.
creative process, for that you follow for each collection. How does it work? Where does it start? That if it's like ideas that you have, or where you find the inspiration for each collection, and then how is the process until the product arrives here at the store?
Yeah. As the brand is growing, things are becoming very complicated on that aspect, because we have to have a lot of preparation, we have to have a design, have to organize, and we have to send it to production. So it's taking a bit longer, this whole process now. I am very bad following trends and following what's happening out of there.
Yay!
Yes. And funny enough, for 2 following years, we've been hit the target of what is happening there. Without preparing ourselves.
Yeah.
I remember last year when we had London Fashion Craft Week here in the shop, we bought all the flowers in gold. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then over a sudden, big brands was doing flowers, and I was like, it was already in our shop, and we hit the target. And then this year, I said it's going to be all about stones, the beads, all about beads. And then I looked at the London fashion.
It's all trend forecasting over here on your own.
Trust me, it wasn't intentional. It is funny. I don't know what's going to happen next year. I don't think I might not get it right.
Well, if I need to find out, I'm coming to ask you what's happening next year. Hello?
Normally, I try to organize a few different materials. Like today, it's all about the stones this year. It's all about the colors. We do the collection colors of Brazil and the golden grass. So that is the two materials that we will focus in the summer. And so it's working so far. So we'll see. I haven't got the plans for the next one yet. Yeah.
And you talked like about the logistics of what Carolina was asking, but like, what is the moment where this is like it makes it to here? Like, what do you just have that inner voice that's like, that's done? Because I struggle as a designer when I'm like finished with something. Do I add more? Do I take something away?
Okay.
So like, what gets it to here for you?
Oh,
like what makes it out of the chaos of your mind?
Yeah,
into...
I normally try different pieces in the shop first with customers. I try to say that this shop is like my lab.
Perfect, because you're talking directly to people who actually consume what
so
you
you kind of can make experiments. We can bring little collections and try it first.
Oh,
and
cool.
then if it works, I say, I'm going to be bringing this next spring. And then you do a little bit more investment in bring or elaborate more the collection. So that's how we do. We use this space as actually an experiment.
Which you should, I think, if you have retail space. Like I never understand why retail space and people who work there are afraid of the people that come in.
Yeah.
They are the people that have come in.
Yeah.
They want
And
to
that's
deal
what
with
I
your
love.
brand
I love
and
to talk
interact.
to people, the different people come at the door.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that's the amazing thing about having a space in a high street. And that's why some of the people that come to the shop sometimes complain, I go to your website and I can't find the same pieces. It's just because sometimes they are in the shop as an experiment. And only after they're going to really make it their website.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about quitting?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time.
This is something, that for me, I told Ricky, I think when you have a business and you're doing something that you love, but you don't know if it's going to work, you never know, is that where do you find also the drive to keep going, and the motivation when those hard moments hit you and you just want to I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep going, but where do you find that?
No, it's really hard at the moment, but focusing why we're still doing what we do, I believe is the impact we are creating at the moment. Since we started, handcrafting was really looked down in Brazil and wasn't really given the value that it deserves. But since we started, there's been a lot of projects in Brazil about handcrafting work. We are 6% of the whole money that is made in the country at that moment. So we start to get a bit of respect from other fields. And so there's been more investment from the government to help with the handcrafting work. And so for me, we have come so far supporting all these communities, supporting all these artisans, give them a voice. So quitting is not something that will just affect me personally, but would taking on other people that actually rely on the job that we do. So no, quitting is not, we can't do the quitting. You have to keep going.
And I think retail is not like the best way to go right at the moment, but here you are,
I know.
How are you planning to scale the brand?
Oh, that's a big question. Yeah, so I got to the point where I know I can't do this by myself anymore. I've been this journey by myself for nearly 6 years. It's time for the company to scale. So I'm still thinking, are we going to go for angel investment? Are we going to go for one-person investment? Are we going to go for office? We're still looking who is going to be this partnership because it's a marriage, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a marriage.
It's a big deal
Yeah.
who you make money with. It's important.
I started calling Ricky like my business partner, and I'm still like, I need to get used to this, because I've been like a single person operating as a single person, which means like all the decisions rely on me, right? But at the same time, so it feels lonely, but it's also scary when you have to partner with someone and say like, have I done the right decision? Is this gonna work? I mean, we've been friends and worked in many projects together as well as you. And this is why we have started the conversations and these interviews with people that we really love. And we have worked for many years now, because I think we know that they have that value, right? And then from there, I'm sure we're gonna start we are gonna keep exploring and discovering amazing brands and designers out there. But
Oh, that's amazing.
it's
But because
good luck.
So
Good for you
how-
too.
For me too.
You guys gonna have a lot of work to bring awareness to the small brands. Yeah.
But it's fun. I think it's like
We're
communication.
passionate as well.
Yeah.
Like we're both
Yeah.
very passionate about smaller brands and smaller designers and giving people, because like you say, the consumer behavior has changed, and handmade things, vintage things, everyone's turned their focus on that now because things should be built to last and all that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting when you talk about that kind of, this is your lab and your consumer testing anyway. So you are very aligned with your clientele, and I think it's really reflective of your success because you guys actually listen. And I think ego and all of that fabulous stuff exists in creatives because we need to have the balls to put it out in the world.
We do. Yeah.
Because this is basically an art gallery, because you've designed something. So you're putting it outside. It's braver than a lot of people. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and then trust me, with the economy at the moment, you have to be very brave.
Yes, but I think that's what's great is you listen to your customer. You've also based all of your collections and based all of your thinking on actual feedback. And it sounds like ridiculously simple, but so many people are afraid of the people that walk in, and I always feel so welcome.
That is what I love. I love to talk to people.
It feels like not your front room because it looks gorgeous. I'm not saying your front room doesn't look gorgeous, but it feels like when you walk in, I feel like I have time to look. I know there's someone to help me. I don't feel overwhelmed apart from how gorgeous everything is. Only 10 minutes outside. But it's a beautiful feeling that you guys have caught, and I think it reflects that you care that we're here.
Yeah. And it's funny you saying that because I had so many people putting themselves as a specialist, and they came in and say, oh, you're doing everything wrong, oh, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, because you need to do maybe less and maybe this, maybe that. And I think, okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
There is 10 shops like that down the street.
Exactly. What is the worst piece of advice that you have ever received?
That was gonna fail. I got this advice. I had someone that I remember when I had I remember like it was today. I was first starting doing pop-ups, and she walked into the shop, and then I talked to her nicely. Are you coming in? I greeted her, and then I like to engage with customers. Obviously, some people are busy and they're walking in and they don't have. Maybe they have time. I'm going to engage with them. I'm going to say, you don't need to be asking about. Yeah, you don't need to be asking about their personal life, but I'm talking about the pieces they're interested in, or if they come around this part of London all the time. I think it's simple questions. So people are not used to hear, and she's like, oh, do you know, I am a specialist in retail, and then you can't talk to people like that. Or you have this and I was like, there's a lot of things here, there's a lot of things there, and I was like, okay. And it's just like
it's where the advice I think often is coming from. Where is her successful shop? You can be in and around retail and move up to these fabulous management positions and things you think you know. But where's your successful bar or restaurant or boutique?
I probably should have a few books about it.
No. They can publish books as well, but can you stay open?
Yeah,
and that's something that like is.
And I think those sort of advice works for a lot of fields. I'm not disregarding I think it works for a lot of people or a lot type of products. But we are showing an identity here. We are expressing ourselves. We are expressing culture. We're not going to be asking permission to be not to be loud, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that brings me to the color as well and your style. You're a very colorful person, but I mean, like any Brazilian, I believe, right? Person that I know, I think it's part of the culture. And I think if you didn't have that here, that wouldn't be then like Treasures of Brazil.
No.
It would be something completely different that had nothing to do with the country, you know, and the people from there. So, how did talk a little bit to us about your style?
Goodness.
I don't know if
That's
I
just
give
style,
it,
it's
but
not
not about your style. You know, I think that the thing that I'm interested is like, do you dress to express yourself and your personality? You know, do you think the way you dress express that? You know, or are you still a bit more into societal standards? You know, of what is right to wear?
Okay. Maybe I'm a bit shy actually. I'm not really. I know you like to think that I do have a lot of colors, but I haven't got much makeup on. I'm always a bit shy about that aspect. And although I'm always wearing jewelry, I'm always wearing the same jewelry.
We like what we like.
We like what we like, and I help people. That's my. I'm here helping people.
There's possibly a little bit in the beginning. But excuse my colorful language, what was your fuck it moment? Like, what was the moment where you, like, where were you? What was the thing that was like, I'm just going to do this?
Oh, well, we had a few setbacks before with some problems with locations, and you know, being centre of London is hard. But
Oh, no, sorry. I mean, the whole, like, starting jewelry. Like, what was the moment where you were like, fucking, I'm going to do this? This is it.
oh, I don't know. I think we did our first one day pop up
Yeah.
in Oxford Street,
Hmm.
and then I noticed everyone loved it, and I was like, wow.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So it was that moment when I
Yeah.
found out like this is not just me,
Yes.
it's a thing,
Yeah.
and I need to do it.
Oh, fab. I love
That's it.
that. In situ again, in
Yes.
your laboratory with all the people. I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you so much.
So, last question that we're planning to ask everybody actually. What's worth wearing that doesn't cost money?
Say again.
What's worth wearing that doesn't cost money?
Style. No, you don't. You
No,
have to.
the idea of this question is to make people reflect on actually that, right? Like style. You can, I said to Ricky, this is gonna bring very
Mix.
mixed answers, right? Because people can say like confidence, you know, like I don't know, it's something different for everybody, right? But it's and then what's worth wearing in 2026?
Jadina sees.
Treasures of Brazil, you know it. And things that I don't know, but things that are handmade, right? Like for me, the thing that I like the most about this brand is the story behind it. I think when you're wearing it, you're literally, you're wearing a story. So when people ask you about it, and I receive many compliments when I'm wearing your pieces, it's like, you know, like an open window to start talking not only about you, but start a conversation, start a new connection. And I think that's great, right? And what connects us as human beings, right? Like those stories. And this is something that I really love about your brand. That has like a really cool story behind it, like how it's made, you know, like you go there to Brazil, the natural materials, you know, and you actually you participate in the whole process, right, of that. And I think that's very cool.
Yeah. Like when I got to know this seed, for example, these seeds, people know them the ivory of the forest, and they only have in the forest, in the Amazon rainforest, this tree, and it's so unique. It is only on that part of Brazil, and so when you hear these stories, you're like, yes. So sometimes you see a natural piece in it. Maybe they're not your first impressions, like, oh yes, but then you hear the story.
And you know you're wearing something very unique that not everybody does. And I'm always saying, you know, I don't know, my biggest fear is like to look like everybody else out there. I'm like, so, you know, when you wear things like this from boutiques that are with so much care, you know, and everything is like, I'm wearing something unique. No one is
Yeah.
gonna have it. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
So,
definitely not mass produced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hope you enjoyed those insights. Join us next week for the next episode of What's Worth Wearing.